Hello, everyone. Welcome to Journal of Supply Chain Management Impact Conversations. This is Hakan Karaosman, and I am honored to be your host for this new series where we will discuss how to create and sustain theoretical, practical, but also societal impact. I am thrilled to be joined by incredible researchers, and we will discuss so many things to uncover how we can create these conversations in more plural, diverse, and inclusive ways to really amplify societal impact and radical change. Today is our first episode, and I'm thrilled to be joined by three incredible researchers. I am joined by Hannah Stolze, Davide Luzzini, and Andreas Wieland. And this is the new team of Journal of Supply Chain Management. So we will discuss with the new editorial board how they approach impact and what researchers are expected to deliver in order to create and sustain long-term radical and societal impact. So this is Journal of Supply Chain Management Impact Conversations, and welcome to our first session. Okay, so hello everyone again. I'm so thrilled to be joined by these wonderful three international and acclaimed professors. And Andreas Wieland, Davide Luzzini, and Hannah Stolze, they are here with us, and they are also the new editorial board, as I already explained. And today we will discuss how they frame impact and what are their plans to make sure we, as the community, create and sustain sustainable, holistic, and societal impact. But before we do all of this, I would like to acknowledge two individuals that have been really kind and inclusive for our community. So Tintin Yan and Van de Tate. So we are thanking them for their contributions and for their fantastic work and everything they did for the supply chain management community. So a big applause for our wonderful Vandy and Tintin. And welcome, Hannah, Davide, and Andreas. You are the new editorial board, and I cannot wait to discuss things with you. But first things first, let's put things in a context. As we all know, we are facing a situation in which there are intertwined crises, and these crises are ecological, social, financial, and also political. And as we know, supply chains are at the heart of everything. So supply chain is becoming something really challenging, but also really important, and everyone is aware supply chains must be managed in a different way to tackle all these incredible grand challenges. But at the same time, we are also aware that supply chains are not understood as dynamic socio-ecological systems. And despite years of research, we are also realizing that sustainability has been reduced to an accounting tool. So now we have to change things, and we don't have time to make those big changes. This is why I'm here to discuss with you about the importance of impact, how we can really overcome the mismatch between theory, practice, and policy, and how we can do things differently to make sure supply chains are managed in plural, sustainable, and impactful ways. So welcome to the first session. And now I'm really thrilled to ask this new team some questions. And my first question is, how do you frame impact, and what actions will this new editorial board take to increase impact for supply chain management research? Andreas, shall we start with you?
I'm happy to start. So first of all, also, Hakan, thank you so much for being the host of this new series for JSCM. This is really a fantastic opportunity for our community to have you on board. But asking me what we already did in the last 2 years, so together with Wendy and Ting, that we said in academic articles, we should not just focus on managerial implications, not just on theoretical implications, but also on societal implications of research. Because planet Earth, our society, that's also stakeholders. It's not just that supply chain management research should improve the way we manage things, help managers. That's of course also very important. But why not policymakers? Why not improving life of communities across the globe. So I think this is already a transformation in the way we think about like implications of research and then also of contribution of research that we have been doing. And yeah, I can see also with the new team, with Davide and Hannah, that we will definitely continue working on that. I don't know if you want to add anything, Davide and Hannah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Andrea.
sure. Should I go or you want to go, Anna, first? Yeah, no, I think first of all, as Andreas did, we have to acknowledge the work that they have been doing so far, and in general, JSCM, I would say, because if I have to think about impact and influencing research and practice at the same time, usually when I talk to students, I say that research is like in advance of practice of about 10 years, and it's now about 10 years that we had this paper by Pagel and Shevchenko in the Journal of Supply Chain Management in 2014, right? They were kind of making this provocation that sustainable supply chain management should have no future because sustainability should become embedded in what we do. And probably are now, like 11 years later, in a moment where everyone is talking about that, right? So I think what we're doing today, it's really shaping what the future will look like. As academics, but also as supply chain management practitioners. So I don't think we need to be afraid of experimenting and innovating, also the way we do research. And if I remember correctly in that paper, they were precisely saying that one of the things we probably need to stop doing if we want to face whatever true sustainability means is to conduct this research which is entirely retrospective and positivistic, where we look at current practices and what companies are doing, especially because if what companies and policymakers are doing is not solving the challenges, and those challenges are in front of our eyes, we need to experiment something new, right? We need to try to imagine new scenarios. So that means also we need to change the way we do research. And I think, this kind of seed is been developed, and the editors recently published also some editorials really pointing in this direction, right? What kind of methods we need to use, and what kind of way, in which kind of way we need to use theory, right? I think there's a sort of thread that connects this kind of discourse. So I'm very proud to be part of this community, and obviously myself, I'm also trying to push in this direction. We do have a special issue that's trying to imagine post-growth scenarios and not arguing that's the only pathway. I would be more than happy if our community is actually pushing in this direction to find viable pathways to really realize what Andreas also is arguing in his papers, that we finally connect the supply chain as an economic system also to the environmental and social system. That I think it's key.
Great, thank you, Davide. And last but not least, Hannah.
Yeah, I think Andreas and Davide really gave a great overview of it all, and I'm 100% in agreement with both of them in the need for not just managerial, but societal impact. And I think, we're also in a day and in a time where, global economies and supply chain systems are going to look differently. And we definitely know how to get product to market. And I think that we're in a place now, to kind of echo what Andreas and Davide said, that we need to understand the impact of those supply chains on ecosystems, on societies, and on people. Supply chains employ a lot of people, and we're barely scratching the surface and understanding the lives, the lived experiences of workers. And so I think this next, decade, this next, hopefully few years anyway, for Davide and Andreas and I at JSCM, that we have opportunities to explore social impact in different ways and hopefully ask different questions. Both people and the environment are in these ecosystems, and we need to go further than we have in the past with the questions that we're asking.
Absolutely great insights and really inspirational. Thank you so much, all of you. And also the conversations that we will have with the Impact Conversations will uncover some of these aspects to really discuss how to craft and create the future. And some of the things that we will discuss is actually how to make research inclusive with the people, with the individuals that are impacted by all of these changes. And this brings us to the importance of context and inclusion. So also we are really thrilled that you are all here to make sure JSCM is becoming an inclusive space, to make sure we are challenging the norms and assumptions. And one thing that always comes across to me with our conversations with also societal impact conversations with this new series, the assumptions that we are using are so global north centric. And we also need to understand the different disciplines and different value systems. Also, we will have some episodes about this and also how to make epistemological justice to the individuals. So also at the review phase, how we can review the papers to do justice to those authors, but also to the communities by overcoming the mismatches and misperceptions around constructs and terms and all of those theoretical things that we think we know. But I think it is really interesting to see that the new pathway will be about creating challenging but inclusive pathways to sustain this long-term impact. So thank you for sharing your insights. And before you go, I know I don't want to take so much time of yours, but I'm asked by many authors and many colleagues, what are you going to expect from the authors? So what do you expect and wish to see from the submissions, from the researchers, from the community to really create this change in creative and innovative ways? So what are the expectations of this new editorial board?
You want to also go first and then with the same sequence?
Sounds good. Go ahead. Go ahead then.
Yeah, so I think Davide, between the lines, already mentioned a very important aspect that I think we should look at much more at, because supply chain management to me is a social science. I mean, there's of course also an engineering perspective on it, which is super important, like operations research journals have that. That's something JSCM is not focusing at, but a social science, and I'm really convinced by that, is needed much more, or the social sciences, humanities are much more needed than ever, because we are the ones who provide new narratives, who look into the futures. Or Hakan, you also said kind of shape, I don't know if that was your the word you used, but like shape new futures. Because if we don't do it as academics, then marketing campaigns will do that. Politicians will do that during press conferences. Or, I mean, this week just Elon Musk has tried to acquire OpenAI. Think about the implication of narratives being generated by algorithms, or maybe even altered by algorithms. We can already see that in other countries. So here I'm really concerned that we are falling behind if we are not more vocal. And in our academic research, we have the opportunities, and this is now trying to answer your question, to shape new views on the world, and not just observing how things are, like what are the 5 factors that generate performance. This is maybe how we have done supply chain research 20 years ago, but now we have the opportunity to reinterpret the world, taking another lens, but also shaping new futures that are maybe better than the one that we are living in. And this is, I think, something we are looking for. So I personally always think about, it's great to have objectivist perspectives. We publish this all the time in JSCM, but I would sometimes wish in our discipline to have more risk-taking, because this is what we are looking for, not mimicking what has been fashionable methodologically 20 years ago or in terms of theories, but more what could be other ways of doing, because this is what JSCM is actually known for and also looking for.
Thank you, Andreas. Wonderful. Davide?
I think it's it's a difficult question, right? But it's also very, very kind of stimulating. I think what Andreas just said, it's important to make this point, because to be fair, we think as editors that, you know, there are certain challenges that need to be prioritized, but at the same time, we don't want to throw away everything that's been done before, right? So all the things that have been studied in, I don't know, according to the green growth paradigm and optimization, efficiency, this for sure can be tools and method we apply, but maybe we apply in different contexts and for different objectives. That's not necessarily profitability or the growth, right, in absolute terms. So we're not here to say, hey, now everything needs to be about sustainability in terms of environmental and social impacts. That's what we care about. But obviously, authors are welcome to shape their research agenda, right? We are not rejecting papers because of the topic, right? So the idea, what to expect, what we expect from authors is, the usual quality standards and criteria. You just have to read current papers to see, what are the standards depending on the method, if you do cases or surveys or secondary data, and we are welcoming any topic, but of course we are sensitive to these ones, right? That are the current challenges we live. And as you were saying, we want to be inclusive, right? I've just joined the board, but I've seen them repeating already over and over again that we want to be inclusive, and we strive to have a diverse mix of people in every step of our editorial work. Like, for example, now we just closed the round of special issues, and we always try to have a mixed team in terms of geographies, genders, even disciplines. I hope this impact conversation will help us bridging the gap with other disciplines, because we do need multiple perspectives to solve some of the challenges. I mean, I think supply chain management scholars are not sufficient, right, to fill these gaps, especially if you think about, I don't know, some ecological economic studies or environmental studies or studies in humanities, psychology, right? We need that perspective, and I hope authors will understand that they can work with their colleagues in these other departments to submit papers to JSCM, because that's what we look for. Sometimes supply chain management is still perceived as a sort of narrow discipline, right? But as Andreas was saying, we are in the social sciences, and I think that unless your institution has strict rules in terms of list, in terms of journals where you need to publish, I think there are plenty of options also for scholars that are outside the usual OSCM discipline. And the other thing I would say we expect is really, I think Andreas and Ting and Wendy have done an amazing job in developing and crafting the community and working with reviewers, for example, to develop papers. We really expect the JSCM community to become proactive, and anyone who has ideas in terms of how we can improve the things the journal is doing, from the review process to the special issues to participating and organizing paper development workshops, reviewer development workshops. I think we want to increase the reach of the journal, and the only way we can do it is working with the community, leveraging on the community. So I don't think anyone from the PhDs and postdoc needs to be afraid of approaching us to propose us new ideas, because again, that's what we're looking for.
Wonderful. Thank you, Davide. Hannah?
Yeah, I agree that Wendy and Ting Ting and Andreas have really set the stage well with a great JSCM community of AEs and editorial review board members and reviewers who understand the goals of JSCM. And I think for authors who are looking to submit to JSCM, that they can look at, I would encourage authors to look at their research teams and to say, do we have any difference of thought? Do we have representation even on our research teams of people from different regions around the world, different geographies? Are we approaching our research with, not just groupthink, but, trying to really push the boundaries in terms of co-authoring and partnering with other disciplines and other schools of thought, even though that's integration is hard work. But integrating across disciplines, I think, will get us to ask some different questions that maybe we haven't posed in the past. So I think, still holding the line with rigor, that we want to have rigorous research that's relevant to the world that we live in. But I think moving forward, we're also going to have increased focus on research transparency and ethically done research, so that we know that the research coming in is really, it's the way that that's done has transparency and rigor as well. And that's going to be a continuing question for us as an academic field, I think, over the next years.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, this has been a wonderful conversation, so I'm thrilled. So thank you so much for your time. And I will just release the links and all the information on the below description part. So please, everyone, take a look at the website and further information. But thank you very much, Andreas, David, and Hannah, for your time. And we look forward to working with you. So welcome to JSCM and hope to see you soon. So everyone, Please follow us on YouTube, on LinkedIn. So next episodes will be coming in every 2 weeks. So we will see you very soon. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.